My dear friends, operator Starsky here. The other day I stumbled upon a video where American tried to explain to his viewers how to read the phrase "I am stupid American" in Cyrillic. And one thing caught my attention. When I was a kid, I was known for winning all sorts of history competitions for my school, and today I will tell you a bit about the origin of the Russian alphabet and why the very term Russian alphabet is both correct and misleading. Modern Russian alphabet contains 33 letters, 31 of them are actual letters. Looking at them, you might think, oh my god, those letters look completely bizarre. Apparently Russians were really smart creating this alphabet. And you will be correct, except for one thing: they didn't technically create the alphabet. Modern Russian alphabet was created around 860s by two Greek Christian priests, Cyryl and his brother Methodius, born in Athens. In the Slavic languages, they are often referred to as Cyryl and Methodius, and we will talk a bit about those two guys. What they did was basically mixing Greek, Latin and a bunch of Old Slavic letters, which resulted in what we know today as a modern Cyrillic alphabet, broadly used in countries like Ukraine, Bulgaria, Belarus or Russia. Cyrillo was lucky because this script was named after him, as you probably understand, Cyrillic, Cyrillo, which personally I find completely fucking unfair, as you know, as being a youngest kid in my family. For example, take Kiev, that was founded by three brothers and their sister Libid, and still it was named after the older brother, Kiev. This happened in year 482 AD, approximately 600 years, before the village of Kuchkova emerged on the map and later was renamed into Moscow, but it's a different story. It is considered that both Cyryl and Methodius also contributed in shaping the Old Slavic language or the ancient Slavic language, as well as the script that came with two versions, which is Kyrillitsa and Glagolitsa, and all this was later adopted by the Kievan Rus and all other Slavic countries from our Bulgarian neighbors. In the Slavic part of the world, the first known books written in Old Slavic using Glagolitsa and Kyrillitsa date back to about 10th century, like Kievan notes found on the territory of former Kiev Rus, modern Ukraine, or Sava's book written in Bulgaria in late 10th century, possibly early 11th century, or Codex Suparsliensis, located in Poland but written approximately in 10th, 11th century AD in Bulgaria. As I mentioned previously, all those books were written approximately 100 or 200 years before the village of Kuchkova, later known as Moscow, was established in 1147. Initially it belonged to Kievan Rus and it was ran by Kiev dukes, and only started to separate from the Kiev Rus in approximately 12th century. Now, if you live in Germany, you can probably read most of Italian because both languages are based on Latin script, even though both languages are completely different, and same with us Slavs. We can easily read each other's words and letters because they are the same, even despite the fact that languages can be completely different, like French and Polish, for example. Already in 9th, 10th century, the languages in the Slavic lands sounded pretty differently, even though the alphabet remained pretty much the same. Same with the Muscovites, who spoke the language of the Kievan Rus, but later developed their own language after separation from the Kievan Rus. However, only much later in 18th century, the Russian Tsar Peter decided to snatch the name of the Kievan Rus for PR purposes, and Moscovia was renamed into Russia for the very first time to represent themselves as the rightful descendants of the mighty Kingdom of Kiev, even though Tsar Peter himself barely spoke any language other than German. Such things as stolen names or stolen valor often happen throughout the history. For example, take Holy Roman Empire. In historical circles, people often joke that it was definitely not holy, it was completely not Roman, and technically it was not empire, but nonetheless good marketing is always necessary, even if it's completely out of place. Now, if you're my subscriber, you're probably asking yourself, why the hell are you telling us all this historical nonsense? So it's because I find it very, very much exciting that throughout centuries, through misinformation and manipulation, Russian Führers convinced the whole world that Ukraine somehow belongs to Russia, even though Kiev is centuries older than Moscow, and places like Novgorod, Pskov, and even the village of Kuchkovo/Moskva officially were but attachments to Kiev, which, being 600 years older than Moscow, is always referred to, even in the Russian language, as Mать городов русских, which is the mother of the Russian cities. Why it's important to remember is because Putin nowadays, just like his idol 90 years ago, enjoys rewriting history in order to justify invading other countries. And just for lols, in the Russian social media you can often stumble upon a popular opinion that Poland, Finland, Alaska, big chunk of Sweden and Eastern Germany must be reunited with the Russian Federation because they do really consider these territories Russian. And one of the most famous Russian chauvinists popularizing this opinion is nobody else but the notorious Dugin, which is so much loved and adored by individuals like Tucker Carlson. With that, my friends, I wish you a beautiful day. I'm Operator Starsky. As always, be safe.